Boston 7, the 2 seed in the West. Done. Here's Jokic.
Mark Kislett never post. It's a lot of emotions in a playoff run. What's your emotions right now?
I mean, sad, disappointed, just because it was a tough game and we had our chances, they had their chances, and they just used it smarter. I can say like that.
Nikola, Sandy Cloud from Sports Radio 104.3 The Fan. You played great in Game 82 last year. You played great again tonight. Does the pain of losing feel the same? And if it does, obviously Game 82 was a great motivator this year. Will this loss serve a similar purpose for next year?
I mean, not to me, to be honest. I mean, losses are not motivation for me. I mean, I think we had a really good group of guys. Yes, last year we missed the playoffs by one game. I mean, Portland lost against the New Orleans last year too. So I mean, maybe that's their motivation, but you never know. So I'm just asking for the guys who's gonna come next year to come better and prepared to do bigger things.
Nikola Youngmas with ESPN. Coach was saying afterwards that you went and talked to the team and said it was kind of your fault and you took the blame. Why did you feel that way as good as you played, and what did you say to them?
I mean, they look at me as a leader. They look at me as their best player. So yeah, I mean, I miss those free throws. That one free throw in the end, and I missed free throw in the Portland game. That to 4 overtime. It just, I mean, probably I feel responsible just because I mean, I think I missed a lot of shots. Yeah, I missed a lot of shots, and I supposed to make some of those. So it was physical game. It was tough game. That's it.
Joe Varden from The Athletic. Do you, and I know it's still so early in Raw to lose in Game 7, do you come away from this series feeling like Coach feels, which is you guys went farther than you thought, than everyone else thought you would, and the future is bright, or do you really lament being up 3-2 in the series and not being able to finish it?
I mean, we had a great opportunity. Even the game in Portland, we were there the whole game. Game here in front of our crowd. I mean, we fought. It was really tough game. A lot of missed shots. I mean, they score a lot of our offensive rebounds. So and we miss a lot of free throws. That's kind of the easiest thing that we can say. And I mean, I don't know what to say.
Nikola, you missed the postseason for the past 2 years. What do you take away from this season, getting all the way to the second round and almost the conference finals? What do you remember about it?
I mean, when we started this season in San Diego in training camp, we said let's make a playoffs, and then we were playing really good, and we were number one spot in the West in a couple of weeks, and then we just said let's do something bigger, and we had a home court advantage. We beat San Antonio in 7 games. It was a really tough series against Portland. We lost today. No, it's improvement for us. This is our first time being here. I don't know. Probably next year we're going to be better.
Anything else?
Thank you, guys.
Well, that is Nikola Jokic. His squad done. The 2 seed is out. The Portland Trailblazers are moving on. Game 1, Portland in the Bay to face the Warriors Tuesday night at 9 Eastern. Of course, NBA TV, your home for pregame and postgame action all throughout the conference finals. And when Golden State and Portland meets up per the Elias Sports Bureau, it'll be the first time ever that brothers will be facing each other in the conference finals round, with Seth taking on Steph. Karan, Smitty, Jared. Guys, let's go through and see what we expect here. We get this great backcourt duel once again. between Portland and Golden State. What are you looking forward most to, Karan?
The return of Kevin Durant, and when do he come back? I think that's the big X factor in all of this. But I think that C.J. McCollum and Dame are going to do an excellent job, remarkable job, rather than going in there and, probably trying to split in the first 2 games. But I also feel like with Steph Curry and the way those guys are playing right now and the continuity and the momentum that they have coming off that huge win in Houston, that is still going to be a tough team to beat.
Yeah, it's going to be remarkable, the backcourt. These 4 guards are just unbelievable. I know they matched up before, but now it seems like this Portland Trailblazer team just have a little bit more. I know they're down Rodney Hood. I know they're down Nurkic, so it's going to be definitely tough for them. I think it's going to come down the way Enes Kanter, what he can do on the offensive rebounds, on the offensive end, they keep him in the game, because on that defensive end, how they're going to mask him in all those pick and rolls is going to be interesting, because he's going to be in a lot of them.
We'll talk more previewing the conference finals a little later on tonight, right after the end of the Raptors and Sixers Game 7. As soon as that one is finished, we will bring you the post-game press conferences there. So I hope you enjoy the game on TNT, and we'll see you as soon as they are done in Toronto. Congratulations to the Portland Trailblazers. Yes. They won in 7, moving on to face the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. Here's what we got from these 2 backcourt stars in Game 7. It was all about C.J. McCollum, and he was just absolutely sensational. Dame, wasn't very good shooting the basketball. I mean, how surprised are you to see a game like this? Didn't it feel a little bit at halftime like we were going to see the next version of the Steph Curry game, where he didn't score in the first half and bam, he'd break out in the second half?
Or we was going to see the continued play of Klay Thompson, the way he played in the first half and continued on, and that's what you saw from C.J. McCollum. And I thought Dame did an excellent job of just rebounding the basketball, assisting the basketball, and McCollum did the same thing.
Yeah, and the one thing is, you look at it, I'm impressed by those guys. We know the scoring, and it wasn't there for Dame, but it was there for CJ. Look at the rebounds from 2 guards, 19 rebounds between those 2. That's huge.
All right, guys, let's go back out to the podium. The head coach of the Denver Nuggets, who lost in 7, is Michael Malone.
Just want to start off by congratulating, obviously, the Blazers on a hell of a series. Congrats to Terry Stotts and that team. Lots of great players, and more importantly, a lot of good people on their roster. So happy for their success. Hope Rodney Hood is okay. And, for us, tonight is the end of the season, but I'm not going to allow this Game 7 loss to take away from a magical year. And doesn't feel that way right now, but when I reflect and when our players reflect on what we were able to accomplish, hell of a year. Couldn't ask for anything more from our guys.
Hey, Coach. Jamal was able to string some really strong games together in the postseason. Obviously, a tough one tonight. What's just your message to him, knowing that for you guys to maybe get to the next level, he's got to be a little more consistent, but balancing with the fact that he's still only 22?
Yeah, I mean, the future is so bright. I mean, you guys heard me say it all postseason. I love the moment. I love where we're at. But more importantly, I love where we're going and who we're going there with. And that's such a big point of what we're doing here. Just spending time with Mr. Kroenke and Josh. And Mr. K said it. We won 61 games this year. It's been over 10 years, I think, since we've won that many games. And Jamal will be a huge part of that future. Going into the offseason, having a game like he had, 4 of 18 from the field, that's going to be a great motivation tool for him. And that's a conversation we had quite often throughout the season. And now 14 playoff games is great players bring it every night, and they produce every night. And, he didn't have a great night, but it wasn't for a lack of effort. We would not be here without Jamal Murray's efforts all season long. And then on the other hand, obviously, C.J. McCollum showed why they have one of the best backcourts in the NBA, put his team on his back, and made big play after big play. But, Jamal is going to be a better player because of this experience.
Michael, on your left here, you've spoken a lot this season about how this is a truly special group, both on the court and how they are together off the court. Just what are you going to remember about this specific team when you look back on it maybe years from now?
Good question. Maybe I'll answer it in a couple of years from now. Well, what I will remember, Harrison, is truly how selfless they were. And that's a lot of people talk about being selfless, and it's a fancy word up on a wall. It looks cool. But for us, it was something that we actually tried to live. And I think there were countless examples of individuals being selfless throughout the season. I look at Isaiah Thomas and Wancho up the whole game. Those guys are dying to play. They're not playing, but they're supporting their teammates. So that's what will stand out. I got Nikola Jokic in there taking blame for the loss. It's not his fault. This was a group effort. I think the cumulative effect of 14 playoff games and us asking him to do as much as we asked him to do finally took its toll on him tonight. But this group really did play for each other, not just with each other. They cared about each other on the court and off the court. And the best teams I've ever been a part of have had that kind of a chemistry and love for one another. And that's a special group.
Your offense has been really good this year. Obviously tonight, only 15 assists. In your estimation, is that just sort of where this game went wrong, was on the offensive end?
Well, you have to make shots to get the assists, obviously, to oversimplify it. But we made 2 threes tonight. I thought the game came down to 21 second chance points and us missing 11 free throws. Those are 2 huge areas right there. We talked about coming into tonight in our 3 losses to Portland. They were averaging 18 second chance points per game. They get 21 tonight. And then you leave 11 points at the foul line. Those were 2 really big factors, in my opinion, and why we lost. But, the bigger question, we were a really good offensive team this year. And whether it's giving them credit, which they deserve, and us missing a lot of open shots, we just couldn't get any rhythm offensively. This game really reminded me of Game 7 against San Antonio. First half, ugly half. Our defense was great, but we couldn't make any shots, so we created no separation. Then they came out in a very aggressive manner, tied things up, and unlike Game 7 against San Antonio, we couldn't hold on for the win.
Michael, Omiyansik, ESPN. What was Nikola's message saying? Why did he think it was his fault? And also, how difficult is it to stop that little left pull-up that CJ had going?
Well, CJ was phenomenal tonight. And all summer long, I'm going to be probably second-guessing myself. Out of a timeout, they just go 1-4 flat, and he hits a really tough pull-up. But that's a shot that he makes consistently. And Torrey played good defense, as good a defense you could ask somebody to play one-on-one. But right after, I'm saying we should have sent somebody at him. He's having a great game and makes somebody else have to make a play or make a shot. But so he's really hard to guard. As far as Nikola, that's what I love. I hope after 14 playoff games, America, everybody around the world that watches the playoffs, really came to appreciate Nikola's game. Playoff debut, almost averaged a triple-double in 14 games and was playing close to 40 minutes a night. He's arguably the best big man in the NBA. And for him to be as emotional and as upset as he was speaks to his, just truly caring. And he knows that we ask a lot of him, and he's just upset because he didn't think he did enough for us to win the game tonight. And I love the fact that he's not afraid of the pressure to put this loss on him, even though we all know it's not on him. All right, we win together, we lose together. But I love Nikola's commitment to this group, and I love him as a kid. He's wonderful to coach, and I look forward to coaching him for many years moving forward.
Michael, over here. Is it too early to look at this as a whole, maybe after Game 5, and say, this is why the series got away from us?
I don't know. I mean, everything is still so raw. We talked about this a few games ago. Do you like to win? Do you hate to lose? I hate to lose. So right now Mother's Day sucks. But I don't know. We played really well in Game 4 and 5. Obviously, Game 6, we weren't able to close it out. And then coming home, you feel you have a great chance in front of your home crowd, and you don't get the job done. And as I alluded to earlier, the offensive rebounding and the free throws are factors. Defense on C.J. McCollum is a factor. But, we did a lot of really good things this series. Our guys grew up, which is most important. We have a lot of guys don't get Game 7 experience. We have a roster full, a locker room full of young guys that got 2 Game 7s under their belt. And how can we not be better off for that?
Mark Kisla, Denver Post. 2 things. You've seen this game offensively before this season where you don't hit the open jump shot. Do you Can you make an adjustment when that happens, or do you just have to trust that eventually they're going to make it? And the second thing, bigger question is, to what extent can you grow out of the heartbreak of a Game 7 loss?
Yeah, I think obviously on one hand, you always ask yourself, kids, are you generating open shots? And if you're generating open looks and you're not making them, okay, you hope that eventually keep on shooting them. That's the only way you're going to get out of that slump. The second part of that is when you're, and I said this throughout the postseason because we had multiple examples of games like this, stop settling. So now get to the free throw line, play in attack mode. And the problem tonight was we missed 11 free throws. So that kind of compounds the issues of trying to score. And what can we take out of this? You have to understand why you win and why you lose. And tonight I thought we lost. Think about all the possessions they got. We played great defense tonight, great defense. But we just were never able to consistently gang rebound and give them one shot. When you give an opponent 21 second chance points, so that's got to be something we learn from. And that's probably one of the more troubling things for me because even in the first round, we were an elite rebounding team in the regular season. In 2 playoff rounds, 14 games, we did an awful job of rebounding, a really, really poor job. That was a constant topic of discussion in round 1. And obviously in this series, I felt it was probably the deciding factor in losing Game 7 today.
Oftentimes it seems like if you're giving up points defensively, it affects your offense. Did you get the sense in the fourth quarter that maybe it was the other way around, that there was some frustration, maybe a little bit of over-anxiety that set in on your offense and affected your defense, that your defense was actually better than the 29 points you gave up, and it was the offense that had a lot to do with their scoring 29 points in the fourth quarter, more so than the defense?
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Obviously, I agree. Most of the times, teams allow their offensive struggles to dictate their defensive intensity and attention to detail. I thought in that fourth quarter, our guys were all known that we're struggling to score the ball. We're struggling to make shots that we've made all year long, high percentage looks by some of our best players. But even with that, yes, 29 points. I'm not sure how many of those were from the foul line and how many came in second chance points. So I thought the initial defense throughout the night was really good. I thought our ability to chase down long rebounds or just to keep them off the glass was poor. And again, we left everything out there, but 21 second chance points, I can't say it enough. I thought that was our inability to end the rebound, end the possession with a rebound was really deflating. When you play good defense for 22 seconds, we get a rebound, we outlet the ball, Lillard gets a steal, they hit a corner 3. Those plays are demoralizing because you know that, man, we're having a hard time scoring. When we get stops, we can't keep giving them second chance opportunities. So, yeah, this will stay with us. Last year, I'll end it with this. Game 82 in Minnesota, losing overtime, chance to go to the playoffs. That was a rallying cry. That was a motivating loss. All summer long, mini camps, summer league, training camp, preseason, regular season, first round, second round. It was a motivating force. Tonight's loss is going to motivate us. It's going to motivate not just Jamal Murray because he was 4 of 18, but we have now tasted what it's like to win in the playoffs. We have tasted how close we were to get to the Western Conference Finals. So we'll use that to come back a better team, and I look forward to that challenge. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.